as well. Disrupts digestion. What they're doing, slamming all the fat globules, breaking them down to smaller than they're supposed to be. If your body doesn't recognize it, it's just going to pass it right through it. But the fat is what's needed to break down the protein. That's where the enzymes are coming. You don't have that, you're not going to really be digesting it very well. Also, growth hormones. A lot of times these days you got to be aware. It's the same thing with all, we'll get into with some of the meat. You got to be aware of non-organic sources. They're using growth hormones, the RBGH, getting in, trying to stimulate milk production, everything like that. But if it's unnatural for the cow that you're getting it from, it's not going to be natural for you either. And yogurt. Beware of yogurt too. Everything like, oh, yogurt, really good for you. Easily can be a false health food. If you're getting it with a lot of fruit, a lot of sugar added, a lot of times that fruit is the last of the fruit that they had. It's already starting to spoil. But they're throwing it in there because it's going to be covered up by the taste of just the yogurt itself. And put a lot of the sugar in there too. Mix it up, and if you're still getting a lot of pasteurized stuff too, if you're going with the low fat, you're not going to be able to break it down again. You need the fats to be able to do some of that. So another one just to be cautious with. So here we go. Let's eat the meat here. Grass-fed. Grass-fed's the way to go. Grass-fed organic, I should say, is the way to go. You want to have both. That's the natural diet for the animal. Don't want it having something that's not used to eating, can't break down. You're not going to get the same benefits from it either. So organic, same thing. Organic is great. It's not as good. You want to have grass-fed too with it. So one without the other, good, but hey, you get the combination, that's the way to go. Eggs, hey, free-range fabulous. That's the way the eggs are meant to be too. You don't want, the chickens, they're not going to be just fed in their little coop, not getting out. You want them out. Go to the farm. Go see what is at the place where you're going. If you're seeing all the chickens running around, you're going up, seeing the cows, that's what you want. Know that they're in a healthy, safe environment too. If they're in a healthy, safe environment, they're going to be able to give you that life back to you through their proper nutrition as well. Show me the seafood. Farm fish. It's going to be just like the non-grass-fed meat products, where they're not eating what they're supposed to be. They're farm raised. They're not out in the wild. They don't get what they need to. So you also want to be sure safe fish. Things like shark, like some of the larger, more dominant fish. You want to be, not that you can't have it, but beware, because they're going to be eating all the smaller stuff. If all the smaller stuff's eating other junk, they're going to be loaded with even more. So making sure getting that fresh caught, checking again. Talk to whoever you're getting your seafood from, getting beef from, whatever it may be. Ask them questions. Ask them where they get it from. Ask them how it was raised. These kinds of things. They gotta, if they're not sure, if they can't tell you, be wary of it. Oh, fats. That's delicious. But trans fatty acids, no. These are the ones you gotta stay away from. This is a lot of like your vegetable oils, canola oils, that kind of thing, where it's just a very highly processed fat. It's really not meant to be used. You gotta be using like the better ones. In here you can look, there's lists of the proper fats that you want to be eating. Different ones for high temperatures, different ones for cooking with low temperatures, and everywhere in between, ones that aren't going to go rancid for you. With the essential fatty acids, so these are the ones, the N-3, N-6, like the omega ones that everybody refers to. Balance is key with this. Our diet's gotten way out of proportion. And most Americans, I believe it's around a 20-to-1, 6 to -3 ratio, where that's supposed to be about a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-4 ratio, where they're a lot closer together. Don't want those getting too out of balance. These are things that you can get tested for, get it all checked out. Saturated fats. Nothing to fear with saturated fats. A lot of times people become scared, oh, saturated fats, it's going to give me heart disease, it's going to cause all these problems. But saturated fats have always been around. The trans fats are the ones that haven't always been around. Those have just been recently introduced into our diet. Saturated fat, it's necessary, it's needed, it's in the cell membranes, everything for your body. You need to have it. But again, just like all the others, not going overboard with it. You want to make sure you have some of each. Sugar. Like Paul said in the book, drug, poison, both these words are used. It's exactly what it is. It's really not doing anything good for your body. You're not getting anything out of it besides calories. No nutrients, no vitamins. It's just straight calories. It's going to affect your blood sugar, causing spikes, causing drops, other things that your body doesn't need to handle with the insulin spikes. pancreas is going to be working overtime. Be careful again, artificial sweeteners too. A lot of times they're neurotoxins. This is just, again, it's artificial. It's not meant for your body to be consuming. Salt. Salt's a big one. Anytime you see just plain white table salt, if it says it's sea salt and it's plain white, got to be aware of this too. You need the color. You want it to be slightly pink, slightly gray. It might be even a little damp, like it's clumping up a little bit. That's fine. These are the ones that you want to look for. What is it? New Zealand, France. I know these are like big places where they get a lot of the Celtic sea salts too. Very important because they're going to have a lot more of the minerals that your body needs. They're not already stripped of all those like the white ones. Just the plain white table salts have already been. Clean water, gotta have it. Whole house filtration systems are expensive. They're the best way to go. They really are going to filter everything out. But then when you do things like that, that's when you want to add a pinch of that good sea salt. You take all the bad stuff out, add a little bit of the good stuff back in, and then make sure that you're staying in balance with all of your vitamins, minerals, nutrients, that kind of thing. Drinking at room temperature. I say this because when it's in your stomach, one thing, if you drink a ton of cold water, what happens is your pyloric sphincter, which allows the water to exit from your stomach, it locks up until your body heats that water back up until the same temperature as your body. And people think, well, okay, if I drink cold, if it's a hot day, drinking the cold water back, it's actually going to raise your body temperature because you have to heat your body up in order to warm that water up as well. So just drinking at room temperature, it's going to be absorbed a lot faster into your muscles, into your body, get a lot out of it faster. Consuming half your body weight in ounces of water. Seems like a lot. You got to work up to it. That's the thing. If somebody's drinking just a glass of water in the morning, a glass of water at night, you don't say, okay, all of a sudden I weigh 200 pounds, I'm going to drink 100 ounces of water. No. You add a glass every couple days. You go with it slow. But making sure always getting it from clean sources. Food storage containers. Glass and ceramic are going to be your best options. Plastic, again, you're going to be releasing all the all the toxins, everything in there. Other things your body's just not meant to eat. It's not meant to consume. So that's why when you're cooking too, beware of non-stick. Non-stick has a coating. It's going to be laid down there. You're going to be eating that every time you cook with it, breaking it down little by little. So that's why. Yeah, I spelled. Is that steel? Yeah,
close enough.
Steel, glass, cast iron. These are the things you definitely want to use. These are going to be the ones that are protected. Best ways to use it. You can get them up to a hot temperature that there's not going to be this non-stick coating that's going to be start breaking off that you're going to be eating. So plastic's just like microwaves, kind of like the irradiating the food. You're killing everything in it. You're adding all the radiation to it. You don't need that. It's not meant for you. You don't want to really get all that into your body. Let's get into a little movement here. So stretching. Posture is key. Posture is every day, all day. You always have a posture. Hunched over, upright, whatever it is, you're in a posture. So stretching. Stretching is not just for sports. Stretching can be used for anybody to help correct their posture, bring them into proper alignment that they need to be. So without lengthening, strengthening is not necessarily going to cut it either. So you can do all the stretching in the world, but until you strengthen up some of those muscles. So if I'm rounded forward, hey, I'm coming forward like this, I can stretch out in front of my shoulders all I want, but unless I get something to strengthen up my back a little bit more, it's not going to stay back there. So that's why you got to find a balance. Stretching out, tight muscles, strengthening up in the opposite direction a lot of times. It's a lot more than that, but we can go over questions. Anybody has anything about that. Posture, also important for digestion, moving fluids, everything throughout the body. If you're just hunched over, everything's going to be sitting in your digestive system. It's not going to be able to move. You got to get up, let it move. Motility is going to be a lot better. Without that, you're just going to be getting constipated, sitting down, can't really move everything. It's just not going to be good overall for you. So stretching also, not painful. When you're stretching, should be a comfortable stretch. May feel like you're pretty stiff, but you don't want to be going where it's killing you either. Energizing, so making your own energy. I've started doing this, I really like doing it. So whatever you want to call it, prana, chi, looking back from the beginning of the book,